Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about my personal finance. When it comes to investing, I only invest in one thing, which is the VOO ETF. Sounds boring, right? But actually boring can be powerful. And honestly, simplicity gives me peace of mind. But I didn't start out this way though. My lessons with money actually are quite painful, especially in the beginning. That lessons cost me a lot of time, flexibility, and a good chunk of my savings. When I first graduated, I did the stuff that most of us did. I went to a local bank and opened a salary account. When I went to the bank, I was approached by a wealth manager and she talked me into buying life insurance, which is in US dollars. She put out a flashy spreadsheet explaining how the return projection is gonna be. Only after I signed the paper and later on I figured out those returns and most of them are not guaranteed. But the worst thing is, part of the money that I signed up on the plan is a loan by the bank. We all know that interest rate has been going up crazily, especially in the US, and I end up paying, interest to the bank every month, and that amount was increasing, and that was the worst nightmare ever. And not to mention that life insurance has no function at this stage of my life at all. Had I known better about finance, I would have never signed up that life insurance project at all. And that lesson actually taught me something. Never buy something that you don't fully understand. And that simplicity is power, and complexity hides its cost. That incident pushed me to learn about money seriously. I started reading The Psychology of Money, Simple Path to Wealth, Rich Dad Poor Dad, basically everything that I could find. I realized money is not just about numbers, it is deeply psychological. We spend psychologically, we invest psychologically, and often we are our own worst enemy. As a doctor, I understand how stress and fatigue affects decisions. That's when I started building a system that removes emotion and focuses on discipline. Eventually, I found something that just makes sense to me, VOO, the S&P 500 ETF. It represents over 500 of the biggest US companies like Apple, Microsoft, Amazon, Coca-Cola, all the giants. Over the long term, it averaged around 10% or annual return, which is phenomenal for something so simple. It is diversified, low cost, and historically stable. And not to mention, the expense ratio is very low, only 0.03%, which basically means more of my money stay invested, keep compounding for me. Warren Buffett once said, 90% of active managers cannot beat the index, so why even try? I invest through IBKR mainly because their currency exchange rate is very competitive from Hong Kong dollars to US dollar, and also the commission fees are low. This is perfect for me since I invest monthly, small, consistent amounts without paying too much in fees. Instead of trying to time the market, I use dollar cost averaging. I invest a fixed amount of money every month, regardless of whether the market is high or low. Because statistically, missing just a few of the market's best days can drastically hurt your return. It is not about catching the lows, but about not missing the highs. So I just stay consistent and let time do the heavy lifting. To keep things truly simple, I automated everything. Every first day of the month, my IBKR account buys VOO automatically. That way, I don't have to think, or worse, overthink. I take emotions out of the equation. Like the Psychology of Money says, investing is not the study of finance, it is the study of how people behave with money. I'm my own worst enemy when I let emotion drive the better of me, so automation protects me from myself. Albert Einstein supposedly said compounding is the eighth wonder of the world. Whether or not he actually said it, the message stands. Compounding is magic. Over time, your returns start generating their own returns. And that's where the growth actually happens. The earlier you start, the longer you stay invested, the more compounding works in your favor. Of course, before all this, I make sure I set up an emergency fund, about 3 to 6 months of expenses, because if something unexpected happens, I don't want to touch my VOO investment. That safety net gives me the peace of mind and let my investment keep growing uninterrupted. So that is my system. Simple, consistent, and automated. No fancy trades, just trusting the time and steady investing. If there's one thing that my early mistake taught me, it is this: don't buy what you don't understand. Learn first and then act. What about you? Have you ever made a mistake that you regret financially? Let me know in a comment, and I would love to hear your story, and I will try to reply as soon as I can. Until next time, bye!